Hey, good morning. My name is Rhett Owens. I am a partner and one of the founding members of Bodewell Legal Group, based out of Birmingham, Alabama. We've got 3 lawyers here and 2 paralegals, and we just opened a office in Columbus, Georgia as well, where we've got 1 attorney down there. Excited about that, and as part of our effort to sort of get our name out there a little bit, we're doing some videos on some topics that we were looking at. And it's funny, like, I take for granted what people know about the legal profession out in the general public. And so we were actually like wondering what people are interested in as it relates to our profession. And one of the things that came up in researching that issue is, how are plaintiff lawyers paid? And I get it, man. There's a stereotype out there of the Ferrari driving, boat owning plaintiff lawyer who, is fleecing their clients and preying off the system like the parasite that he is portrayed in the popular culture. But that ain't the way that it is at our law firm. And I say that having been a defense attorney for 15 years and being relatively new to this game. So one of the things that I want to do with this video is to explain, on a hypothetical case, how we get paid. So let's do this. Let's say that you're involved in a crash with an 18-wheeler. And as a result of that crash, you have disc herniations in your spine. And you have been to the ER, you've been to orthopedic specialist on, let's say, call it 3 occasions, and now you are receiving physical therapy and chiropractic treatment on every 3-month basis. Let's just say that. All right. Let's also say that this accident happened a year ago, and you called us 6 months after the accident. So what will happen is, you call us, we talk to you. We immediately go grab all of the relevant documents relating to the crash report. We talk to the eyewitnesses. We obtain your medical records from the ER and from subsequent doctor visits. And we gather all that information, and we come back to you and we say, Miss Jane Doe, we think you've got a case here. We'd like to sign you up. So what does that look like? So number one, you as our client are not going to pay us a penny until we recover money for you, either through a settlement or through taking your case to trial and obtaining a judgment from a jury. So again, not a single penny comes out of your pocket. Our contract typically calls for contingency fees of between 35 and 45%. So on a relatively minor car accident, you're probably going to have a 35% contingency fee. Whereas on a more serious medical malpractice or wrongful death case, you would probably have a 45% contingency fee. So let me answer 2 questions, which I'm anticipating based on that. Number one is, what's a contingency fee? Well, it's what our entitlement will be to whatever we settle or obtain a judgment on your behalf. So let's say we take that case to trial and we win a $100,000 judgment from a jury here in Jefferson County, Alabama. On that $100,000, our 35% contingency fee will be $35,000. So we would take $35,000, y'all would take $65,000, or the client would take $65,000, and everybody would go their merry way. That's changed a little bit by case expenses. And that's where the 45% on more complex cases comes in. So for example, on a medical malpractice case here in Alabama, you have to develop expert testimony to establish that your injury was caused by a breach of the standard of care by the doctor who was treating you. Well, in order to hire an expert, we go out, meaning this law firm will go out, we will vet and hire an expert, and we will pay for that expert up front, because again, not a single penny is coming out of your pocket. So let's say that we get an orthopedic surgeon to look at your case and to offer us an opinion on whether or not you were injured as a result of the accident. That orthopedic surgeon charges us $5,000. Well, that $5,000 comes out of your share of the total settlement or verdict that we get on your behalf. So we have the contingency fee, and then we have expenses coming off the gross amount, and then everybody goes their merry way. So why is it then that we charge a higher rate on more complex cases? The fact of the matter is, the more complex a case, the more the defense bar is going to throw resources at us in order to limit our ability to extract maximum value from your case. So, for example, in a medical malpractice action, the defendant in those cases will be represented by big defense firms here in Alabama. And those defense firms have nearly limitless resources in order to develop experts, obtain demonstratives regarding the medical anatomical considerations of your individual case. And what they try to do is they try to kill you by death by 1,000 cuts. In other words, they throw so many resources at you in the form of experts and other things that it just drives our costs up. Now, because our law firm is well capitalized and ready to take on any case that we have, that doesn't really concern us. But it does justify the higher rate that we charge on more complex cases. The more complex a case, the more the defense bar is going to be ready to try to kill us with paperwork and with experts and with other things that drive our costs up. So the higher fees are based on the need to justify our time and the attention that we are going to pay to a particular case. So in sum, you don't pay us a penny until we recover for you. The more complex a case is, the higher fee percentage we're going to charge based on the amount of work that is going to be associated in taking that case from start to finish. And then obviously our fees are also in addition to reimbursement of us for the expenses that we advance to a client during the course of our representation of them. So look, bottom line, this law firm cares about its clients, and we want to do the best job that we can to represent you in a manner that is going to get you the maximum value that we can from your particular claim. So give us a call. We're going to take a look at your case. We're going to evaluate medical records. We're going to evaluate the circumstances of a particular injury, and we're going to give you our honest opinion as to whether or not you've got a case. And if you do, we will take on that case and fight for you to the bone to extract the value that we think we can get out of it, and to represent you in a way that is going to effectively represent your interests.